What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal.
Opinionated, outspoken, informative. The Jaguar Journal. Your source for the latest information on Southern University sports and SWAC athletics. A Baton Rouge sports talk tradition.
All right, it is the Jaguar Journal. Ooh, you hear my voice today? Let's try that again. Good morning. It is the Jaguar Journal. I'm Perry White. Gotta excuse my voice this morning. You know I officiate on Friday nights. I was doing a lot of yelling last night between two teams trying to keep them apart. So if I don't have much of a voice today, that is exactly why. I was working hard last night. Late night for me, so Mike looked at me like, what the hell was that? And it's okay. I'm sure y'all want to know what the hell is that as well with my voice this morning, but nonetheless, glad you guys are tuned in this morning. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in the capital city area. Trying to get it back, trying to get the voice going. It may take a little while to get it cranked up this morning, but nonetheless, man, appreciate you guys. A big show lined up for you guys today. We're going to have here in just a minute. We're going to take a quick break, come back on the other side. My man Safi Raouf going to come on, talk to us about some things, helping some students with scholarships. We're going to also have Mr. Lawrence Jackson, former band director at Southern University. He's being honored today during halftime at the Southern University versus Nichols game. My man Blue, Zach McKinnell's going to join us at 8 o'clock to talk to us about. We're going to break down Nichols State, look ahead at today's opponent. And, of course, you know, I can't talk Southern football without my man Jim Klein, Peter of the Advocate. So I hope you guys are rocking and rolling, ready this morning. I'm trying to get it there, y'all. My voice, I've been working on it here all morning, trying to get it together. But if you tune in and you hear my voice, last night yelling, man, had to officiate a game, and it took a lot to officiate that game last night, if you know what I mean. If you don't, then, hey, you'll just figure it out when you get one of those games. So let's get ready to take a break. When they come back on the other side, we're going to have my man Safi Raouf here on the Jaguar Journal. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back, all right?
Danny Johnson, first and foremost, outstanding young man, great character, great young man. Can't say enough about him. Great father. You always see him, you know, hanging around with his son and spending time with his son and his family. As a player, I can't say enough about him. He has all the athletic ability that you would want in a kid with playing corner, the footwork, speed, all the intangibles.
I have a good work ethic. It's been a lot of times, in the off season, like I just push myself to go work out. Even if nobody else was out there, just to get an extra push when we get back into the season. Because I always wanted to have that edge over everybody else. So, it's just that mindset that I have. I want to be one of the best. So, I got to push myself. If anybody else does. And it's like a lot of stuff that I want to do with my son that I can't do because I'm playing ball. So my biggest return to him is just, having him come to games on Saturday. He can see his father play in front of, thousands of people. It makes him happy. So whenever he's happy, I'm happy. But just when I get the chance to just go home and, hear everything, he's been doing in school and, what he likes and doesn't like, it just brings me back to that fatherhood of just being around him, and that's what I like to do. I put academics over football because, I can't play football forever. At some point, I'm going to have to rely on that degree. So, that's my biggest thing, and that's one reason why I came to Southern, to get that degree. So I set myself up to where I'll be able to graduate right after the season. So if football doesn't work out for me, I can always come back and go to grad school. So, education is a big thing for me.
Danny Johnson put Southern University on a national stage. Obviously, everybody knows about Jag Nation and Southern University, but you'll see Danny Johnson playing on Sunday one day, and he'll be able to be an ambassador, for the university.
What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal. All right, we are back. It is the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody out there, everybody listening on 107.3 FM this morning, all our listeners on YouTube and Facebook. Good to have you guys with us. Excuse my voice. As I said before, I had to officiate hard last night, so the voice not quite there, so y'all bear with me this morning. But as we continue to keep the Jaguar Journal going, got to welcome very special guest this morning to the show, my man, Mr. Safi Raouf, Assistant Band Director at Southern University. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. White. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good, man. Listen, this is a New Orleans native. He's proud of McMain High School?
Yes, McMain Magnet, class of 2002.
Man, listen, a lot to talk about this morning, man. First of all, man, good morning. Glad to have you on. It's the first time I think I've had you on the Journal, man, so welcome to the Jaguar Journal.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Long time coming.
Long time coming in. For a lot of people out there, not only are you the assistant band director at Southern University, but you're very heavily involved in your fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, man. Talk to us about some of the things that you guys have been working on, especially on the scholarship side.
Yes, on the scholarship side, that's what I call the principal, and we're very big on scholarship. So basically, throughout the year, we have different scholarships, and we always are promoting education and being the best version of yourself. So we have a international scholarship, essay contest that's going on right now. I have the details that you can put up in the link on the show for the Jaguar Journal. High school seniors. So we have that going on, and every year we give out 4 $2,500 scholarships to incoming freshmen to any school. And all this very application process, show that we're just doing in the community. We have a review board. We can do it, and if you get picked, that's free money, $2,500.
What is the qualifications for young people? Is it male, female? Is it anybody? What's the qualifications?
It's open to all races, genders, everything. Just high school senior, and only stipulation is in the East Baton Rouge area. That's the greater area. So your Central Zachary, essentially all that great stuff in the East Baton Rouge area, parish. And we get to have a 2.75 or higher letter of recommendation, fill out the scholarship application, and that's it. That's the qualification that we have for it.
You know, you guys in your fraternity of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated are heavily involved in the community. Talk about your involvement with the fraternity and all that you try to do in order to continue to strive for greatness.
Yes. Basically, on my aspect, I currently serve as the boss of the Lambda Alpha chapter, which has been around since May 8, 1936. So we've been serving Baton Rouge for a very, very, very long time. We're the second largest graduate chapter in the state of Louisiana and the fifth in the 9th district. So basically, my motto is personally it's never about me, but I'm always about, you have to have know how to have show how. Lead by example from the front. I can't expect others to do it if I'm not out there and doing it. And as we all know, we're in the typical time of elections and races, presidential elections, local races. So we have to get out and vote. One of our mandated programs is voter registration, education, and mobilization. Getting people out there to vote. After we register them to vote, make sure they're going out there to vote. And then educate them about what's going on. We're not going to tell you which way to vote. You have to know how to have show how. You have to know what's going on in the community. And most people say that their vote doesn't count. Each vote counts. So people, we have to get out there and utilize our vote. So that's what we really have going. That's our main thing going on right now until the presidential election. We pushing everybody out there to vote.
Man, and then on the other side, as the assistant band director at Southern, man, you know, being heavily involved because you're an educator as well.
Yes. On the side of Southern University, big shout out to Dr. Kendrick Taylor for giving me this chance and opportunity to display my worth and my value. I started in 2018, and this has been, for everybody, a dream come true. Many are called, few are chosen. So for me to put that uniform on and to represent the best, the baddest band in the land, the greatest institution on this side of the Western Hemisphere is an honor and a privilege every day. And it's something that we don't take for granted. I tell everybody, we practice a very long time every day for a 7-minute show. So we put the work in for a small fraction of the time that we practice. So that's why Southern Band has a reputation of being the baddest band, the best band in the land, because we have a standard of excellence that started way back with Dr. Isaac Gregg. And then today, I hopefully when I talk about that, talk about one of my mentors, Mr. Lawrence Jackson.
Yeah, we're gonna have Mr.
On the campus.
Yeah, we're gonna have him on at 7:30 to come on and talk about it. But just your experience with Mr. Jackson and the influence that he had.
Oh Lord, have mercy, Mr. Jackson. One word to describe Mr. J. Innovator. It's just not one word. One time, G. Just father figure, a man of God. Just Mr. J is the man. He's the standard and epitome of what men should be like, a very positive role model. Mr. J will help anybody, chance after chance, to be the best version of yourself. And I am very thankful for Mr. Lawrence Jackson. And I can't wait to see him today. I can't wait for the Jaguar Nation to see our special tribute to the crank doctor himself.
You know, Safi, talk about your time, what you got your degree in, your master's, and just your overall education dealing with Southern University, man, to be where you at today.
Perfect. Like I said, I'm a product of the Orleans Parish School System. I went to McMain Magnet 7 through 12, where I marched in the band, all that good stuff. Then I went to Southern University in 2003, where I was a freshman, and I'm in a percussion section. I played bass drum. Did 3 years in a band over there. 4 years in a band at Southern University, where I was section leader of the whole drum section as a bass drummer. That has never happened before in the history of the jukebox. Usually the section leader of the whole drum section is a snare drum player, and in one instance it was a cymbal player. But I was a bass drummer leading the whole section in my sophomore year. And while at Southern University, I had the honor and privilege of pledging Kappa Kappa Psi National Honorary Band Fraternity Incorporated. Zeta Nu Springle 5. And in Springle 6, Springle 5, I was the president of the chapter, and we soared to great levels. Graduated, got a Bachelor of Music from Southern University. I started my teaching career in 2009 in Iberia Parish. At Generate High School, my first meeting, had 4 members. I turned that program in to 80 members by the time I left. Program recognized all across the state of Louisiana. We get in that for another time. Then I left Generate 2015 and had the opportunity to come back on the campus of Southern University, at Southern University Laboratory School, where I was director of band. And while being director of band at Southern Lab, I obtained my master's degree in education and leadership.
You know, being able to... yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay? Yeah, so I obtained that degree, and that degree opened a lot of doors, and that one was kind of personal. You know, I just wanted to further my education so I can't tell other people to do it, and I don't do it. So, like I said, I like to lead by example, lead from the front.
You know, it's just the drive that you have for success and to organize. You know, I think within that self, it shows leadership, and that's what you have become, and that's what you are. Whether it's with the band, whether it's with your fraternity organization, whether it's with young people. You know, every time I see you somewhere organizing and putting together, man, and for you, you know, just looking at the career and where you're going, man, what's the overall goal for you?
Overall goal is to be the best version of myself, and whatever God has a plan for me, that's where it is. Like I said, we're always looking to excel, advance, and to be put in the right places for ourselves, our family, and just to help other people. So, like I said, who knows?
Let's do this one more time for me, Safi, for that information for the scholarships, because, you know, always trying to make sure that we help young people out there, man. Give that information one more time for anybody that's out there listening who may know a student, a young person who may be in need of that scholarship.
Okay, so the best way for the scholarship is you can follow us on Instagram at Lambda Alpha Qs, or you can email us at info@lambdaalphaqs.org. info@lambdaalphaqs.org, and on the front page, and then also the website is lambdaalphaqs.org, and we have tabs and all that great stuff on the website. lambdaalphaqs.org, and it's QUES, Qs.
And how much that scholarship worth, and what's the qualification once again?
So we have, last year we did 4 $2,500 scholarships. And like I said, you need a 2.75 or higher for the application process, letters of recommendation, get it into the scholarship committee, and we're going to reward you.
My man, Mr. Safi Rao. Safi, you got to excuse my voice. Normally, I'm a lot more energetic and going my voice. Man, I lost my voice last night during the game, so I'm trying to work to get it back slowly but surely, man. But I appreciate you for coming on this morning, man, and joining us and being able to put out that information, man. And congratulations to you and all the success that you've been able to have in your career and that you're going to continue to go and do throughout your life, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Journal. Thank you, Mr. White. And look, I'd be remiss if I didn't give my boy, Kenny Collins, a shout-out, my partner in crime, man. He's doing a great job. Hopefully we get him on the show.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to get him on the show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is what I did my last time. I enjoyed it, and anytime. I think I need a segment on your show.
Well, come on, man. We'll get you. I'll get you a segment on here anytime. All right, my man.
We're going to call it. All right, Mr. Perry, appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good one.
Yes,
Go
sir.
Jags.
Go Jags.
See y'all tonight, 6 o'clock, baby.
Yes, sir. That's my man, Safi Rao, assistant band director at Southern University. Let's get ready to take a break, y'all. We come back on the other side. We're going to have the former head band director at Southern University, Mr. Lawrence Jackson, who is being honored today doing Southern University's halftime, the maestro himself. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be back. More of the Jaguar Journal.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
Talk about offense, we talk about Southern, and it begins with their passing game.
Tom, beyond potent, we're talking about high octane, we're talking about fast break, we're talking about 41 points a game, some 500-plus yards since Terrence Levy has taken over this offense.
Because that young man doesn't drop any ball.
With the legacy that you started here, you got to
feel happy to see it continue on with Doug Williams.
Ball now back at the 22-yard line. Levy, no pressure at all. Touchdown, Ingram. The Bayou Classic. Levy on a first and goal play. Throws a touchdown. Grambling comes with a blitz. Levy steps in the pocket, and his pass is caught. One-handed grab.
Sort of in the middle of the road of the SWAC, but immediately they jump on the Jackson State defense. And here's Levy rolling out. And the pass is caught. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Again throwing the football downfield. Oh, and his receiver, Hayes, makes the catch. See you later. Touchdown, Southern. If you're going to get, I got some free tickets. Look out for a brother. Going downfield. Oh, and what a play by Southern.
Score. He's played a lot tougher ever since. And this is a free play for Southern.
2nd and 15.
It's a free play.
Levy completes his
It's
pass.
a free play.
Oh, and he's still up.
It's a free play.
Hayes is going to continue running inside the 10, the 5. Unbelievable Michael Hayes. 3rd down. And 23 for a first. Levy over the middle. Nice pass that time. 2nd and 20. Levy doesn't have to get it all, but he's going to have to pick up some yards. Here he is throwing. Nice catch made.
Big receiver, Michael Hayes. There he goes.
Hayes makes the catch. Hayes still on his feet. Hayes looking for blocking. Hayes trying to find a hole. Hayes is still on his feet. He alley-oops. He's inside the 15 and drawn out a foul.
Touchdown.
The backfield. Plenty of time for Levy across the middle. Has his man at the 15. You know, I don't know if you want to break the spirit of Terrence Levy or not. Here he wings one wide open down the middle and a one-handed grab made.
The way. 3rd down in 4. And here's Lewis off the catch. Lewis still on his feet. And Lewis is streaking down the sideline. Touchdown. So they move back 5 yards. Levy on 3rd down. Looking down the sideline. Yes, sir. Big time play.
Guys stepping up like they're going to blitz. He really is going to start.
All right, we are back. It is the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody out there. I am Perry White. Good to have you guys with us. Good morning to everybody listening in the capital city area on Talk 107.3 FM and all of our listeners and watchers all across the United States, across the globe, watching us on our YouTube and our Facebook. Be sure to hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook. And as we continue to keep today's show going, excuse my voice, as I was officiating last night, y'all, and so I had to really get in there last night. So as we keep the show going this morning, he's the man, he's the myth, he's the legend. He's going to be honored today doing Southern University's halftime show. And I got to welcome him to the show because it's not his first time here on the Jaguar Journal. Former Southern University Director of Band, Mr. Lawrence Jackson. Good morning, Mr. Jackson.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. Trying to get my voice back, man. I lost my voice last night, so I can't really do all the yelling and exciting stuff that I like to do here on the show. So I'm trying to still make it work.
You sound pretty good anyway.
I appreciate you, man. Look, thank you for coming on this morning. I know I kind of hit you up last minute, but guess what? You are being honored today, and one thing I believe in is giving people their flowers while they still here with us. And when I saw the honor, I said, man, it'll be an honor to have you on this morning. So I'm glad that you're able to join us. And for everybody that's out there, you're going to be in for a treat today at halftime at the Southern University versus Nichols game, because none other than Mr. Jackson himself will be there as we recognize him for the leadership and the role that he has done over the countless years of educating young people and preparing them for the world. And not only that, being the leader of the greatest band in the world, the Southern University Marching Band. And Mr. Jackson, for you, man, just being able to be honored and what that feels like to get your flowers while you're still here.
Well, it's truly an honor. I tell you, I don't really look toward honors, because the honors that I receive is the years of having a great time working as a band director, music educator, over 38 years in the elementary, junior high, middle school, high school, and at the university level. And to see the
the students grow, see the students mature, and to be outstanding musicians and outstanding students and citizens in society. It's a tremendous honor, a rich honor for me. So I've gotten my award by seeing the students after they graduate from high school or college, and they come back and call me, and I see how well they are doing. They're having families, careers, very, very successful, making a positive contribution to society. Hey, that's the honor that I've been living for many, many years.
You know, come from the big small town of Crowley, Louisiana, all the way into Baton Rouge. And I have this conversation with Roger Kadar all the time, Coach Kadar. I said, man, you are a Southern man, because Coach Kadar played sports at Southern, graduated, then came back and coached. You were in the band at Southern, got your degree, then came back and was the band director. Just talk about just Southern University and what it has done for you in your life.
Well, first of all, I could never ever pay back Southern University for what it's done for me, coming from a small rural community, rice capital of the world, Crowley, Louisiana, which is in southwest Louisiana, to Southern University in 1971, fall of 1971, to be a part of the greatest band in the entire country and in the entire world. I was excited. I got a solid education at Southern University, and then under the tutelage of the legendary late Dr. Isaac B. Gray, was just amazing. Learned so much, made a lot of friends, and got a lot of hands-on teaching how to master the craft of band pedagogy. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Met a lot of good friends, a lot of good band directors who have done amazing things with their career, educators in other areas, doctors, lawyers, educators, band directors, you name it, business people. I mean, it was just so much fun because we didn't have any cell phones then. We didn't have anything to distract us from learning and growing and getting to know people. We wasn't into the video games of social media, which is now captivating, our way of life. So Southern University is the reason for my success, because they prepared me well. Had great music teachers and great educators in the areas of science and history and music and you name it, mathematics, English. Knowing how to articulate the English language, knowing how to be able to motivate and get students to do the things they need to do to be successful. All that comes from Southern University. What it did, you have a hidden talent, and they bring those talents and gifts and those energies out of you. So Southern University played a major part in what I did as an educator, music educator. And it afforded me to travel all over the country. I will never forget the time when I was a young lad, and I had an opportunity to go to Radio City Music Hall in New York. Dr. Gregg picked 32 members to perform at Radio City Music Hall. And we were scheduled for a 2-week performance with the Rockettes, and we wound up staying 6 weeks because the band was a hit. And then playing in the jazz band with the legendary late Alvin Batiste, iconic jazz professor and musician, and had opportunity to be a part of the jazz band that won the national in Washington, D.C. At John F. Kennedy Center for Performing Arts. And we were the #1 jazz band in the country over the likes of Townsend State University Jazz Band and North Texas State. All these bands, and traveling with the band, playing marching band at playing at Sugar Bowl, where we were the featured band, where we played against the likes of the $1 Million Band, Alabama, University of Alabama, Auburn, Texas Longhorn, Oklahoma Sooners, and we were the featured band for the next 4 years. You just can't forget that. So when you're talking about a rich legacy and what Southern University did for me, Southern University did more than I could even get in the small amount of time. It would take me 2 days to talk about what Southern University did for me. So I'm just thrilled. I'm having fun. It is because of Southern University I'm able to retire or retired at age 60. I've been retired 11 years. I made 71. Today is my birthday, and I made 71. And I've been out of the pocket for 11 years. So I just thank God for being alive.
Let me ask you this, Mr. J. Now, you're talking about bringing the energy. I don't think there was no other band director during your time across the country that brought the energy like you did when it was time to get that band ready. And for a lot of people out there, if you don't know, and for those that do know, Southern University's marching band has a very powerful, brassy sound. Will you consider yourself the father of cranking? And if you know what I mean, for everybody out there, would you say you got that going?
Well, yes. I just came up with the word cranking. I was the assistant band director then, and cranking really is energy. A lot of people think it's just to play as loud as you can and as nasty as you can. No, cranking is energy. Playing with a lot of energy, playing with a lot of power behind breathing from the diaphragm. I just came one day. I said, we're going to crank. We got to crank. We got to really bring this music out. And when I would get on the podium, the band would get excited because I was always trying to. I had a lot of energy during that time, and man, if you go online in 1999 and look at "Can You Feel It" when we played against Florida A&M. That's when people realized, wow, this band, because it wasn't about the range. It wasn't about writing high notes. Some people think cranking has to do with playing as high as you can. No, it's the energy that you put in the horn. Dr. Graves taught us to play through the horn, not in the horn. So, yeah, I would say I was the founder of Crank Master, the computer technology of all bandology, the human eye part of marching pedagogy. We talking about the Southern University marching band from back. Now you get me started. Now you don't woke me up now. Don't start this stuff.
I got one more question for you because you used to say bring that mustard. Where did you get that from? Come on.
This is crazy. This is crazy. This stuff just come in my head. You know how you just don't practice none of that. I just bring, I say 1, 2, bring that mustard. Boom. That means bring it. Give your all and all. And I mean, it just come out. And then everybody used to call me Dr. Mustard, the Crank Master. I got this brother who spray our house, and he's our bug man, and he's from Dillon Springs, and he looked forward. He's ticket holder to LSU, ticket holder to the Saints, and he used to say, he'd say, Dr. Jackson, man, the band really brought that mustard, man. Don't never give them ketchup. Just continue giving them mustard because you say bring that mustard. So I'm still excited. After all these years, I'm still pumped up.
Man, listen, Mr. Jackson, I'm glad to have you on this morning, man. I know you got a busy schedule ahead this morning, and a busy day is once again, Southern University will be honoring Mr. Lawrence Jackson today during the halftime. A special treat for you guys who will be at the game, Southern versus Nichols. And I'm sure, Mr. J, you got something up your sleeve for the game today.
Man, listen, I just would like to tell the listening audience, come out. You're going to see the greatest show on earth. If you miss it, and listen, you got to be there or be square. You cannot miss this halftime show. You're going to have the oldest, the goodest, something that'll make you holler and scream, something that'll get you fired up. And listen, you got to come here. You're going to hear a little Earth, Wind & Fire. You're going to hear a little Usher. You're going to hear a little Juvenile. You're going to hear a little dance band. You're going to hear all kinds of your favorite moments, your favorite artist going to be on display this afternoon, tonight in Mumford Stadium. To listen to the computer technology of all band houses, the human eye part of marching pedagogy. We're talking about the Southern University marching band from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Don't miss this halftime show. You're going to miss the treat.
I love it every time I get a chance to talk to you, man. I love the energy, and I purposely try to get you excited and get you amped up. I try my best to purposely do it, and I'm glad you do it every time. You bring that energy. You make my day, Mr. J. Thank you, man.
But listen, God bless you, Brother White, and hope to see you there tonight.
Oh, you going to see me there. I'll miss the Southern game.
I'm running late. Dr. Greg said if you're on time, you're late, so I got to be there before time. God bless you. God keep you here.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. J. All right, that was my man, Mr. Lawrence Jackson. He's going to be honored today, former Southern University Director of Band. Listen, as you can tell, that energy is always there with him. Let's get ready to take a break, y'all. We get ready to get to the top of the hour. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be back more to Jaguar Journal.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
T.R. Ricks is a fifth-year senior who's getting his first chance to drive the train that Bob talked about. And right now, he's driving it quite well because the Southern Jaguars are kicking butt in the SWAC conference. As Bob mentioned, 6-0 overall in the SWAC, and T.R. Ricks has played so well. Over 2,000 yards passing. In the last 3 games running the football, he's been over 100 yards on the ground. The respect factor that he gets from his teammates is incredible. As a fifth-year senior who's never started, they elected him captain. And the numbers he has put up are represented on your screen. 27 total touchdowns on the offense, a pass percentage of nearly 60%. He could be the SWAC Player of the Year on the offensive side.
Best, and they're going to get a huge dose of the best offensive player in the SWAC, and that being Thomas Ricks.
Yeah, what Thomas Ricks has found a way to do is just beat defenses either with his arm, with his feet, or with his leadership capabilities, finding a way to win the games late with fourth-quarter comebacks. He showed versatility and athleticism. He's a tremendous athlete that knows how to win, most importantly.
Really is a leader both on and off the field.
I just think it has come to a maturity level. I have a 4-year-old son, and, when he was born, I had to grow up fast, and, just staying in school and practicing every day, trying to get better every day, just so he can have a better future. It's just been my inspiration. So, I just think that's my motor that drives me and, keeps me in the game.
His 4-year-old son, Collier, has not missed a game this season. They throw the football around in Rick's dorm room at Southern, and he says it's great playing football with Collier. 1st and 10. Ricks. He's got Vernon. Vernon makes the catch at the 45.
They can run the entire offense with all those guys in the game.
Ricks to Vernon. 1st down. Holmes in the backfield. Ricks. 1st down. Gage on the tackle, but not until Ricks picks up the 1st down. 2nd and 7. Ricks. Overstreet's got it. Across midfield. Ricks has a receiver downfield. It's caught for a touchdown. Territory. Ricks fakes the pitch. Gets inside the 15.
He's the type of young men that represent his philosophy in life and in football.
Ricks in a shotgun. He's going to run it out to the 10. And 2nd and 11 after the holding penalty. Sidearm toss. And a nice catch. Ricks on the 1st and 10. Little draw play. Takes it outside. He's got the first down.
But Rick's going to take it up.
All right, good morning to everybody out there. It is the Jaguar Journal. Of course, I'm Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us, everybody listening on the radio waves on Talk 107.3 here in the Baton Rouge capital city area. And, of course, everybody watching us across the country and the world on the internet via social media, on our Facebook. Be sure to go follow. And on our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Excuse my voice today. I want to give you guys the energy. But I lost my voice last night, and I didn't realize I lost it to this morning. But officiate, man, I'm out there trying to get these guys, trying to get a good, clean game, man. And sometimes it takes your voice, and I guess for me that ain't a good thing when I got to get up right the next morning and do a show with you guys at 7 a.m. So if I get any louder than this, I'm going to start cracking. My voice just going to be all over the place, man. So glad to have you guys with us. I'm feeling generous this morning. You know what? If there's anybody out there that wants to go to the Southern versus Nichols game today, give me a call here at the studio, 225-499-1073. I'm going to hook you up. If anybody out there want to go to the Southern Nichols game, feeling generous. My voice not here, so I might as well do something to make up for it. 225-499-1073. I got some tickets if you want to go. I'll hook you up. Just give me a call, and we'll figure that out. So if there's anybody out there, you say, you know what, I don't know if I want to go. Look, LSU don't have a game today. I don't care who you are. If you're an LSU fan out there, you want to go to Southern, hey, give me a call, 225-499-1073, man. I'm going to get you straight and send you to the Southern game today because it ain't nothing else to do in Baton Rouge. So you might as well come on over and check out the game and watch Mr. J do his thing as he's being honored. And so we got somebody call in. Miss Lewis, you want to go to the game? Let's see. Good morning, Miss Lewis.
LT, garbage man with the cell phone. Good morning.
How you doing? What you call in to talk to me, or you call in because you want to go to the game?
I love to go to the game, Mr. White.
Well, Miss Lewis, I'm going to make sure you get to the game today. You're going to see Southern and Nichols, and you're going to get a chance to watch one of the greatest halftime shows on the planet today as they honor Mr. J. So guess what? You're going.
And I just posted because he was bearing that record when I was going to Clinton High School 4 years, 1979 and 82. Go, Mr. Jackson.
Well, I'm glad.
He was like the Clinton High School marching band.
Well, I'm glad you'll get a chance to be there and see it. You want to? Hey, now that I got you live where the whole world can hear, you want to shout out anybody?
I just want to shout out all the front load drivers around Baton Rouge, roll off, side loaders, rear loaders, and the toilet, and everybody at Clinton High School.
There you go, Clinton High School. Well, I'm about to put you on hold. Stay on the line. I'm going to get some information from you, okay?
Thank you, Mr. White.
All right. Hey, just like that, anybody else want to go to the Southern Nichols game today? It's just that simple. You give me a call here in the studio this morning, 225-499-1073. I'm sending you to the Southern Nichols game so you can get a chance to watch a great halftime show, watch some good football today, and enjoy yourself. It's a Saturday, and we all know a Saturday in the South is a holy obligation to find a stadium near you and go enjoy yourself tailgating. Good morning to all the tailgaters out there that are listening over at the stadium at A.W. Mumford Stadium. They are out there bright and early getting it going, getting those pots rolling, getting those grills cranked up and pouring it up. So I hope you guys out there turn us up if you're listening to us out there at the tailgate. And good morning to all you guys and everybody out there listening, man. As always, it's good to have you guys with us at the 8 o'clock hour. When we come back after the break, we're going to have my man Zach McKinnell from FCS Football Central. He's going to talk to us today about today's opponent. Southern be taking on Nichols coming out of Thibodeau. They'll be in Baton Rouge today. It's going to be one hell of a game when you look at that program who has been a perennial power for the past few years over in the Southland Conference. A lot of Louisiana guys on that team and I like this matchup. I know there are people out there that don't like this matchup, but for me, I love the matchups with the in-state teams because guess what? You got to beat them. That's competition. Beat your competition who's on your level. We all FCS. This not the UL, the Louisiana Tech, the ULM, the Tulane, the LSU. This is Nichols, right? We had an opportunity against McNeese, and we let it squander away in the fourth quarter due to miscues. These teams like this, Nichols, McNeese, Southeast, and all, they take advantage of your miscues. And if you give them that, they will make it an easy day for themselves to walk away with a W and make it a hard day for you and your fan base watching them walk away with the W. So we're going to have my man Zach talk to us about Nichols and what to look for in this program as they come in. Their last game, they had a bye week just like Southern. They won their last game against Mississippi Valley 66-0. So this team can definitely put up some points. Let's make sure to see if Southern's defense, who is right now is one of the top in the nation, can pretty much hold back that Nichols offense. And then, of course, I can't talk about Southern football without my man Jim Kleinpeter of the Advocate. We're going to bring that all together. And then after that, I'm going to take you around the SWAC. I'm going to talk to you about some games last week and some games this week. It's football now. That's what we're going to do at the 8 o'clock hour. So you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hey, it'll be more of the Jaguar Journal. Let's get ready to go to break.
If you're living with
Southern was a little late to the game of football. They had started earlier in the CIAA up at Hampton and those schools up there. And when J.S. Clark became president of Southern University in 1914, he had already visited the Tuskegee and these Howard and the other schools, and they had a football program. And he wanted to compete with them, not just in the classroom, but also on the football field. So it started as an intramural. We had intramurals when we first came in 1914 through 1916-17, and then the intramural program evolved into the varsity, into the football program in 1918. Coach Big Charlie Holmes from Colorado State, he came here as an assistant coach, but he took over around 1922, 1923, and he did very well through the early 20s. But he came up to 26. He broke even. He expected to do well, and 27. I don't find any records where he won any games there, and he was replaced. But the person he was replaced by was a legendary. Name is Bryce Union Taylor from the University of Southern California. Out there, he had been an All-American. He was the guy that stopped the four horsemen of Notre Dame. And then he went to Chaffin University in South Carolina at 27. In 1928, he became the head football coach at Southern University and athletic director. And he really put Southern on the map. He had a lot of firsts. First of all, he had the first All-Americans we had came under him. Therefore, he had the greatest winning percentage in Southern University. He won 85% of his game here. And he had our first undefeated season in 1931 when he was 7-0, and but he was not declared national champ, but he was considered for that. But he was our first great coach during that early period, Bryce Union Taylor. We don't want to forget him. Arnett W. Mumford, he's a national icon in coaching. He had coached 10 years in Texas, Jarvis Christian, Bishop, and Texas College. But the last 5 or 6 years at Texas College, he was very, very outstanding. He won 2 SWAC titles, and he had won a national black championship at Texas College and 35. So therefore, Southern was interested in getting him here, and Dr. Felton Clark was very instrumental, the person to get him here. But his impact it goes much further than Southern University and State of Louisiana. He won 12 SWAC titles, 10 of them at Southern and 2 at Texas College. And he won 5 or 6 national black championships. And also, he was very successful in the first interracial bowl game, the Fruit Bowl in San Francisco in 1948 when he played San Francisco State. And he won that game decisively. But his influence extended much further than the boundaries of Southern University. He was recognized nationally as a great coach. His winning record, he didn't coach over a period of 35 years, and a couple of those years they didn't have teams because of the war. But he won 246 games, second only to Eddie Robinson, with his 402 game over 55 years, I should add. And Southern always had loyal supporters, and they would follow the team everywhere they would go in large numbers. So Southern became the team that everyone loves to beat, loves every Saturday. It's the toughest game we have every Saturday. So if they don't win another game, they figure if they win the Southern game, they had a good season. And because we carry a large crowd with us everywhere we go too, so a lot of people like that. And we like to brag about how good we are. And of course that helps out. But it is a vista to the university, using the football athletics period to use that way to introduce the university to people who may not have known the university. Went through a period of 20 years, 30 years, I believe it was, after Mom, till we got Coach Pete Richardson in 1982, 83, and then he returned us to the glory years. Rivalry with Grambling has always been there because it's an intrastate rivalry. And we played Grambling a few times before 1948, but after then, we didn't play them anymore until we became a member of SWAC in 1959. But FAMU filled that void with Jake Gaither and A.W. Mumford. Those were some of the greatest games that you ever would see. And they became our main rivalry after 1948. But the exposure that the biggest thing that we can say about the rivalry is that the Bayou Classic, coming to Bayou Classic in 1974, was the biggest thing for any of the HBCUs. First of all, we played in Tulane Stadium in 1974, the first game, because the Superdome was not complete, and we had over 76,000 fans and a national television audience. And we never looked back from that. So there's great exposure for the university, not just for football, but for the university period. On a big game day atmosphere here, we have over 100,000 people on the campus. And for homecoming, they're everywhere, all of them down to Scotlandville, railroad tracks, and we'll have over 100,000 fans here tailgating, just having a good time. And hopefully that we get most of them to come into the game. But we do have a packed house. We can get 29,000 to 30,000 people in our stadium, and that's what we have every homecoming and other big games that we have. Getting a degree is more than just studying. It's an interrelationship that you get and the good experiences and things that you have, and that forum of athletics affords you that opportunity to do that. So we need both, but you should keep them in perspective now. Remember, you don't put athletics above academics, but they work together. If you don't know where you come, you don't know where you're going. And the other thing that a quote I have that until a lion writes his own story, the story of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. And by that, you need to write your...
All right, we are back. It is the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody out there. I'm glad to have you guys with us. Everybody on our Talk 107 FM radio waves around the Baton Rouge capital city area. Good morning to you guys. Turn this up a little bit louder. I know some people out there tailgating this morning and got us rocking and rolling. Everybody that's watching us all across the nation and wherever you at, good morning to you, or watching us on our Facebook channel. Hit that subscribe button, and watching us on our Facebook page, hit that follow button. Follow us on our Facebook, the Jaguar Journal. Excuse my voice this morning. I continue to reiterate, I officiated a tough game last night, so it took a lot out of my voice. I had to keep things in order. So my voice not quite there. Late night, early morning, so no recovery time. So I can't give you that typical Perry White energy right now, because if I take it up any higher than this, listen, it's going to be cracking all over the place. The voice just not there, but hopefully by game time this evening, it gets back. And so as we continue to get this thing going, I'm talking about game time this evening, and the game time is Southern versus, guess what, Nichols, the in-state FCS matchup. I love these matchups, and for Southern, they're going to have their hands full as they welcome in Nichols today, and nobody better to talk about other FCS programs or all FCS programs than my man Zach McKenna for FCS Football Central. Good morning, Zach.
Good morning, man. Appreciate you having me again.
Man, good to have you on, man. Listen, it's that time of the year as we continue to push down further into the schedule, and now we're talking about in the schedule. We got a rare matchup right here with Southern and Nichols, something that has not happened in such a long time. But let's talk about Nichols, right? Southern's opponent today. They come in on the season 1-3. started the season with a 25-17 loss to Louisiana Tech. Then they came over to Baton Rouge a few weeks ago and kind of had the Tiger fans on edge for a little bit in that game as they had narrowed that deficit down 23-21. LSU ultimately pulls off 44-21. Then they go to Sacramento State and take a big L, 34-7. Sacramento State is a team I've been seeing a lot of noise about maybe moving up to FBS to the Pac-12. And then they came home for the first time on the season and took on a SWAC member, Mississippi Valley State, in which they got a big victory, 66-0. And now today's matchup, 1-3 Nichols versus Southern, 2-2, 6 o'clock, A.W. Mumford Stadium here in Baton Rouge. Zach, when you look at this Nichols team, right, a lot of Louisiana talent on that roster, but let's start offensively. And what I've seen from Nichols, they like to run the ball. And we all know running the ball takes a good O-line, and it takes some hell of a room of running backs. Let's talk about them. What do you see from Nichols offensively?
Yeah, you just mentioned it. I mean, and this is something that's been I would say a common theme since Rebo's taken the job at Nichols. They're going to look to establish the run before anything. Now, I think Southern might be at a little bit of a disadvantage because Nichols has been playing this year without their All-American running back Jalen Spears. He got injured the first game of the season. From what I'm hearing, he is back today. So he's a guy that can do it all, man. He was actually an All-American for our publication last year and this preseason as an all-purpose player. He can do it on special teams. He can do it out of the backfield as a receiving back. He's explosive on the ground, and then they pair him with a guy in Colin Guggenheim who, Perry, me being an O-lineman, I really, really like physical running backs. This kid paints his entire face in eye black and wears a neck roll. It's just a different. I went to the Nichols Sac State game last year, man, and I thought he was their linebacker. But he's averaging like 5.2 yards per carry. They also got a lot of young guys. Against Valley, they had a freshman from Pensacola, Michael Brock, that really broke out. I think he had 132 yards on 8 carries, and it all starts with the offensive line. They have a 4-time All-Conference center. They have multiple guys who have started over 30 games in their career. And, Perry, you know this. Offensive line continuity and chemistry is the biggest thing, and Nichols just has that. And you mentioned the reason they have that is they recruit the state of Louisiana really well, and they develop kids. Perry, you're never going to hear let me not say never. They just signed a 3-star kid out of Mobile recently, but you're not going to see Nichols on the top of any recruiting rankings, right? Mm-hmm. But they're going to get the kids that have shined in the state of Louisiana who want to be there, who want to be developed. And that's why you've seen Nichols win multiple conference championships under the staff of Rebo. But I will say this, it's all about the rushing attack, just because I think Pat McQuaid is your just prototypical game manager, Perry. Mm-hmm. I think he's looked better this year than he did last year, but Pat McQuaid, in my opinion, isn't someone who's going to be able to carry this Nichols team to many wins. If Southern can key in and stop the run, I think Southern has a massive advantage because I do think they're going to be able to pin their ears back and try to get after McQuaid in the pocket.
Yeah, you're talking about 455 rushing yards Nichols had over Mississippi Valley State. They also were able to put up 150 rushing yards on LSU. And then in that game against Louisiana Tech, Nichols also rushed for only 62. What happened in that Sacramento State? What did Sacramento State defense do to be able to contain that Nichols rushing attack? Because in that game, Nichols were only held to 10 rushing yards against Sacramento State.
So it was just generating negative plays, Perry. And also, too, let's put this into a little bit of perspective. Sacramento State, before last week, they got upset at Northern Arizona last week on the road where they had some Sac State is a really, really good team. They had, I think, 3 turnovers that led to 21 points last week on the road against Northern Arizona. So it's a little bit skewed there, but they just have a really good front seven, man. They have an all-conference linebacker they got from Utah Tech and Will Leota. They got a really good defensive line, but the key was negative plays here. They forced 14 tackles for loss and 7 sacks in that Nichols State game. Held Nichols to 10 yards rushing on 31 carries. And like I said, McQuaid just doesn't have it in him to lead the team. So I do think that's where Southern's advantage starts, right? Because I would say the strength of Southern's defense is in the front seven, especially that defensive line. And that's really where it started for Sac State. The defensive line dominated the line of scrimmage and allowed their linebackers to flow freely and go make plays. And that's going to be the key for Southern, who I think different than maybe Sac State, Barry. I think a lot of their playmakers are on the defensive line. Mm-hmm. So dominate the line of scrimmage, let Givens and Brown and all those guys just go make plays. And that's what you want to see if you're Southern's defense.
And you're talking about defense. Let's look on the other side for Nichols' defense, because Southern, we've had the struggles, excuse me, with the offensive line. I think you saw Southern rotate the guys and kind of tried some things out against Prairie View, and then you had the bye week to work on some things. But that Nichols defense, talk about them and what kind of fits could they give Southern today?
So as good of a matchup as I think Southern is defensively for Nichols, just because Southern's strength to stopping the run, Nichols wants to run the football. I actually think it's the same way there on the other side, because we know Southern's going to want to establish the run first. With Dylan and Rhymes and all that talent at running back, try to take some pressure off of Bodden, who is getting another start today. But when you look at Nichols' defense, Barry, their strength is, I thought coming into the season their strengths were in the secondary, but they're, even with the two FBS games, with the Sac State game, they're holding opponents to 78 yards per game on the ground, less than 3 yards per carry. They've been really, really good on the against the run this year. And their stats are a little skewed here. I want to make sure we're fair to everything, because they had, I think, 6 interceptions against Valley. But let's not forget they also forced 3 interceptions and forced 2 fumbles against Louisiana Tech too. And that was something that was, I would say, their bread and butter last year defensively, Perry, is they forced turnovers at such a high clip. So this is going to be a massive test for Noah Bodden, because if he puts the ball in harm's way, and right now he's thrown more picks and touchdowns this year, if he puts the ball in harm's way, Nichols' secondary they know how to take advantage of it. And I think their front seven is really, really good. It starts with the linebacking core led by Eli Ennis, who was a freshman All-American a few years ago. They got Rasheed Lovelace there at defensive tackle, who, if I'm not mistaken, was a freshman All-American last year. Hayden Shaheen at linebacker as well. So they just got a lot of talent in that front seven. And I will say this as well, their All-American defensive back, Tyler Morton, hasn't played since week 1. I don't know what his availability is today. If he's going to ever come back, man, after the bye week's the perfect time. So that'll be something to watch if Tyler Morton can get back healthy, because he led them in picks last year, and this Nichols secondary led the Southland in turnovers last year.
Let me ask you this, as we look at this, and give me a comparison, because we saw Southern's offensive line get dominated by Jackson State's D-line in that game up in Jackson, Mississippi. In comparison of that Jackson defense and defensive line compared to looking at this Nichols, would you put them about what and what, or what would be your thoughts on that?
Okay, so I think Nichols' defensive line is probably better against the run than Jackson. The difference is they don't have anybody who's going to go get the quarterback like Jackson does, with like a Joshua Noble or Phillip Webb or anything like that. And also, too, I don't know if they're as aggressive as Jackson's front, but I will say this. I do think they're more physical at the point of attack against the run, and they're not going to be super flashy, Perry. I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of pressure generated, anything like that. I mean, they've only had 5 or more tackles for loss in 2 games this year. They only put up 3 against Sac State. They didn't record a sack against LSU or Sac State, but they recorded 4 and 3 against Valley and Louisiana Tech. So it's really just hit or miss. But I would say they're more stout against the run. They just don't have that go-to pass rushers. They don't have any pass rushers really off the edge that scare you right now.
Yeah, and looking at them, that 1-3 record, hey, do not let that fool you, ladies and gentlemen. Looking at that 1-3 record, this team is really good, and if they catch you slacking, like they did Mississippi Valley, they can run you out of a stadium. Let me ask you this, Zach, today. When you look at this matchup with Southern coming off the bye week after that win on the road at Prairie View in overtime, and you look at today's matchup with Nichols, who's coming off a bye week and off a big victory over Valley, does this, let me ask, does this seem like something that it can be manageable of a close game, or does this give you all the makings of maybe a blowout game? And for you, let me see.
I talked about it earlier this week. I want to go Southern here in this one, Perry.
Really? Really?
I do, but here's where I'm sitting at, though. I'm not going to, but I want to. The thing is just, Perry, you know this. On paper, Southern has had teams. Let's just go back. This rivalry hasn't been played for a while, and this would be a good thing to talk about with the listeners, because I know you got the history. I was doing some research. Even when Southern on paper was the significantly better team than Nichols, they just find a way to lose.
Yep.
Because I think it was in the 90s, wasn't it, where Southern was undefeated and lost to like a below 500 Nichols team, and that's their only loss on the year?
It's just always Nichols gives Southern fits, and typically, I mean, you talking about that, I go back even to the McNeese game this year. For 3 quarters, Southern looked like the better team. Southern was the only team, looked like so far this season, that was able to contain Clifton McDowell to the point they had to make a quarterback change. They have not had to do that since. And it was the miscues, and that's one of the things I talk to people about all the time. When you play these type of FCS teams, they'll sit back and just wait on your mistake. And when you make your mistake, they take full advantage of it. And that's what I'm hoping does not happen today. When you talked about the turnover battle, Southern does not need to be on the losing end of the turnover battle, because that's how you let the game get away from you quick, because these teams like Nichols, McNeese, and those others, they pin their ears back ready for those opportunities. Southern has to play 3 phases of the game, offense, defense, and special teams today, and especially against a nickel team that one mistake, they'll take full advantage of it, Blue.
Yeah, and also, too, I'll be interested because if let's just say Nichols takes an early lead, like I just don't know. You talked about the mindset of the Southern fans. What was it, like a few weeks ago on our Sunday show? And what's going to be the energy in the stadium if Nichols jumps out 7-14 nothing, Barry? And the fans are looking around like, man, is this just another? It's an out of conference game, but still, like, we're expecting more. I think this isn't a must win for Southern, but I do think it's an important game because I just think Southern needs some momentum. Like you were losing momentum so fast, right? And then that TV game was like a small injection of just energy and confidence in the Southern team. And now you're hearing people with the way Gramblin's falling off, with the way Texas Southern got beat last week. The way Alcorn's looked this entire year, you got a lot of people who are like, Southern really could win the West, right? They're in a good position to, at least, and we don't really trust anyone else in the West to win it. So I just think a win here over Nichols, which was a preseason top 25 team, still one of the favorites in the Southland, and talk about the momentum and the energy that would inject in the Southern program right now with back-to-back wins.
Yeah, and you say it is a must-win. You got Nichols at home. You had to go on the road to McNeese, right? That game was winnable and you let it get away. Today's game against Nichols is a must-win. You're going to have the home crowd behind you. Guess what? Southern has not beat an in-state team not named Grambling in a very long time. And Southern has played pretty much everybody in the state of Louisiana at this point except Southeastern. They played Northwestern State, McNeese, Louisiana Tech, ULM, UL, Tulane, LSU. So all the D1s of the state, Southern has played and has not beaten any of them in a very long time. Today is an opportunity. And once again, these type of wins for me are what get the fan base energized again to say, because I always say, we've been playing the SWAC schools for 100 years. We know we can finesse the few schools that's out there, the Valleys, the Pine Bluffs, the Alabama A&Ms. It's been the big game in the SWAC that Southern has since been falling off. When I say the big game, the contenders, the Florida A&M, the Jackson State lately, the Alcorn, right? Those are the big games. But when you get a chance to get bragging rights over an in-state opponent that you recruit against, a lot of kids look at these programs and decide, hey, I'll go to Nichols, I'll go to McNeese, I'll go to Southern on that FCS level. You got to get this. And plus, this is a victory that a lot of fans, because they have not seen it in such a long time, this turned people head like Southern won that game. This is the type of win that you need, and I think for today, I'm a little skeptical of where it is just because the Southern's offensive line to get points. I've seen Southern's defense have to keep Southern in the game far too long and where the game just kind of get away from them. This is not one of those teams you can finesse. You got to really be able to come out and play. And for me, Southern's offense is going to have to establish themselves today. That's the only way I'm feeling confident about today, Blue.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Southern has to, I think, keep their defense off the field, just find some sort of offensive identity somewhere. Because I think the way Nichols plays, they're going to play downhill, just try to wear you down type, just power rush football. And I just, as good as Southern's defense is, they're not good enough to be out there for 35 minutes in this game.
Not this game.
And deal with that. So I think Southern can absolutely win this game, Perry. The problem I'll say this: if T-Set was healthy, Terry, I'd be way more confident. Just because I'm a really, really big fan of his game, I worry about the turnovers of Noah, and that's my biggest hang up right here with this game. And so I'm with you. The offense has to score. I will say this: I do think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I don't think either team gets over 24 points today. I think it's going to be a close game, 3 7-point-ish game. I'll lean 3 in my prediction. So I would expect to see just both teams try to establish the run. This game gets done fairly quickly, and we just see a good. I would just say a perfect example of just trying to establish something on the ground, because I just don't know if either team is super confident in their quarterback airing it out today.
Yeah, man, I'm with you, man. I'm looking forward to it. Today's kickoff 6 o'clock. Blue, let the people know where they can find you, man.
Yeah. Find me on the Blue Bloods YouTube and all podcast streaming platforms. Find me on Sunday with my guy Perry White here on Facebook Live. And, SI.com/college/FCS Football Central on SI, man. But Perry, as always, bro, I appreciate it.
Yeah, Blue, I appreciate you, man. And listen, on Sundays, if you guys want to watch us, we do a Sunday recap, FBS, FCS. I mean, we're all over the place on Sundays. You can tune in 9 a.m. Me and my man Blue and Jim Kleinpeter at 9 a.m. on the On the Yard Network. If you've been watching on YouTube, you see all the On the Yard stuff. But if you haven't, you go follow On the Yard Network on Facebook. Us three, we do a full recap and breakdown. And I'm sure tomorrow is going to be interesting. All three of us look back at this game today and break it down. So if you want to continue to hear Blue and I along with Jim tomorrow 9 a.m. on the On the Yard Network, go follow it on Facebook right now, and that way you'll be able to see us tomorrow at 9 a.m. Blue, man, as always, I appreciate you for coming on and giving your insight and your expertise when we're talking about FCS football.
Absolutely, man. Have a great one.
All right. Thank you, Blue. All right, let's get ready to take a break. On the other side, we're going to come back from this break, and we're going to have my man Jim Kleinpeter. We're going to talk some Southern University football and see what the Jaguars have been doing this week to prepare for Nichols. All right, so y'all stay tuned. We'll be back more to Jaguar Journal.
Darius Skelton has really had this wave of momentum for Southern.
Yeah, first-year player in this program. I love his decision-making. He makes quick decisions, particularly when running the run-pass option game. That's his specialty. He's been an impact for this offense since he took over as starting quarterback.
Well, Darius Skelton is a dual-threat quarterback. He can throw the football. He's very good at throwing the ball down the field. We're going to work on this spring those intermediate passes, but down the field, he's one of the better down the field passes that I've seen.
Play action, Skelton going for it all, has a man, and hauling it in is Hunter Register.
And then when you talk about running ability, he has running back capabilities. He can go the distance. He has the speed to go the distance. He has the power, and he has the vision. And I think when you put that with a dual threat quarterback, I think he's the reason why we're so happy about this coming season.
Skelton feeling the pressure. Skelton eludes a couple of tacklers. He's still on his feet. Oh my! Little shake and bake juke move, baby.
Being a quarterback, man, it's not easy at all. It was hard being here and having the expectations to be the starter and not being the starter. It was overwhelming. Like, I was ready to play, and not playing when I was ready to play just made me kind of look at life differently and really think, should I be here or should I not? And I talked to God, and he just settled me down and he told me to be patient. That's what I did.
Skelton, who started the last 6 games of 2018 for the Jaguars. They went 5-1. Their only loss to Alcorn State in the SWAC title game. Taking the jet sweep, and Skelton awfully good with his leg. Blitz. Register, the receiver at the bottom of your screen. Nice grab. All who have had an impact here in the year lowing. Southern still. Skelton comes up for the 3rd time. Taking the jet sweep, he'll keep it. A good lead block as he cuts it to the outside. The fake to Ben. Skelton will run. And dragging with them for a few yards. Darius. The time, stepping up into the end zone, has registered. Flag down, catch made, touchdown, and it's actually first quarter yards. Southern 121, McNeese 40. Fresh set of downs as we begin the second quarter, and looking deep, Skelton for register.
What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. All right, we are back. It is the Jaguar Journal. I am Perry White. I think my voice is coming back just a little bit. I'm working on it. Trying to get it. Is it there, Mike? It's kind of almost still a little shaky. A little bit. Yeah, I lost my voice last night, everybody. You know, I'm a football official, so on Friday night, sometimes games get chippy. Sometimes I got to get in there. I had to get in there last night, okay? Hey, I had to make it do what it do. And so the recovery time from a late game coming into bright and early on a Saturday morning with you guys, I don't have much recovery time. So you should have heard my voice when the show first started. Oh, it was horrible. So it's like I'm elevating. I'm getting a little bit better. So I'm happy to be at least been able to talk a little louder. I've been having to be real low. So thank you for everybody out there listening. Talk 107.3 FM in the Baton Rouge, capital city area. Glad to have you guys and everybody out there listening across the world, the nation, on our social media, the Facebook page, Jaguar Journal. Good to have you guys there. Hit the follow button and hit that subscribe button on our Jaguar Journal YouTube channel. And everybody out there, good morning. If you're tailgating, preparing for the game, getting up. LSU don't have games today, so I'm pretty sure, hey, if you're an LSU fan, come over to Southern today, man. Guess what? The Jaguars got a game against Nicholls, some good football, so you get a chance to check that out as well, man. Hope you guys are having a good day, and as we continue to keep the show going, got to get it going with my man Jim Klein, Peter, other advocate. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Perry. You know, a spoonful of honey will take care of your voice.
I didn't even get a chance to get it, man. So, you know, as the day go on, I'll be able to do that, Jim. Hey, as we jump in today's matchup with Nicholls, Jim, talk to me about the preparation for the Jaguars this week.
Well, I think it was a good week for them to have off. Coming off, I would say, the last 2 quarters of the Prairie View game, they played probably as well as any time this season as a whole. So with that momentum, being able to go into the off week, fix a few things, make some adjustments, it gives them some time to reset a little bit. So I think that's good. And they're facing a team that's not going to do anything too fancy on them. Nicholls likes to throw some trick plays, but only because they're a grinding team. You know, they like to make you stop them running the ball, and then they'll hit you with the pass occasionally. So I'm looking for Southern to play well. You should play well coming out of an off week with a little bit of momentum going in.
Hey, Jim, let me get you to hold 1 second, man. We're going to get ready to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be back more to Jaguar Journal.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White. And what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
For the first time in the 79-year history of the Southwestern Athletic Conference Elite Championship game determines the overall champion today. Live from Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, it's the champions of the East, Jackson State, taking on Southern, the champs from the West. Hello, everybody. George Johnson along with Charles Mann. And I got to tell you, a great poet once said this is the way it's supposed to be. And it is. Number 11 Southern taking on number 15 Jackson State. Both programs have won 3 SWAC titles over the decade, so it's only fitting in the first SWAC championship game we determine the program of the decade. We've got a lot of offense out on the field, and yet this guy right here, he's going to tell you this game's all about D.
It's always all about D, George. You know that. They're always all about
an
D.
all-pro defensive end is going to tell you that. When you think about Jackson State, this is a team that is very potent offensively, but defensively, they've led the SWAC throughout most of the year, and they've got the best player in defense in the SWAC, and that's Tommy Head.
Tommy Head. Get used to saying that name. You'll say it all day. He'll be all over the field. He's always around the football. He's the leading tackler on this team. He also has 5.5 sacks.
At one point this year, Southern led the nation in scoring defense. Then they ran into Florida A&M. They got a lot of guys out there that can get it done. But at the top of the list is DeMarcus Miller.
DeMarcus Miller, the linebacker coach, Terrence Graves, told me there's one word to describe this kid, and that is relentless. He's only 5'10", 285 pounds. He makes a lot of plays, though.
Relentless, appropriate word for our third member of the broadcast team, and that's Joe Clare, who's standing by down on the sideline. Joe?
Yes, indeed. I'm down here on the field capturing all the pageantry and revelry that is black college football. Birmingham, Alabama is a lovely city. This is the inaugural SWAC championship in their city, so they came out to have a good time. I will be covering the bands, the cheerleaders, shout-outs, all of that kind of stuff. Back to you guys up top.
All right, thank you very much, Joe. You know, earlier this year, Southern beat Jackson State, the 4th straight win over the Tigers. But what's most impressive about Southern, they haven't lost a conference game in 25 outings. They put it on the line against Jackson State. We look at the starting lineups brought to you by Western Union Money Transfer, the fastest way to send money worldwide. You saw the backs. Here's your offensive line. Damon Nivens is a first-team All-SWAC member. Defensively, there's your starting lineups for Jackson State's defense. Chandler, Tommy Head, Edward Reese, pretty good middle linebacker. Rashard Anderson is a professional prospect, and they say he will be in the NFL next year. There's your starting lineup, brought to you by Western Union. Mark Washington is your quarterback. Destry Wright, the all-time leading rusher in school history, is the tailback. Jeremiah.
All right, we are back. It is the Jaguar Journal. Good to have you guys with us this morning. My man Jim Klein, Peter on the line. And I got a special guest here in the studio. This is not his first time, but he's back again, my man Nate Harrison. Good morning, Nate.
Good morning. How you guys doing out there?
Nate the Great has got him in the studio, y'all. And as we continue to talk about matchups, did you ever play nickels while you were in school?
Plenty of times.
Okay, so we're going to get to that. Jim, as we continue the conversation, man, let's talk about Southern, man. Any improvement for you seeing this offensive line rotating guys from that game against Prairie View and then coming into the bye week and now today's matchup?
I just think it's part of the overall process. They put a couple of new starters in, and they do rotate. You know, a lot of coaches like to play the same 5 guys as long as they're healthy. But Southern has rotated some guys in the second half. But I have to say they definitely played better in the second half. And I got the feeling from talking to players and talking to Coach Graves that he really read them the riot act at halftime. He said, "Come on, you're better than this." And I think it helped them. And the offensive line in particular played much better. They had 162 of their 191 yards rushing in the second half. Mm-hmm. So it was like a different story. And it's true. It's the hardest position to play because you've got to play in concert with 4 other people. And everybody's got to be on the same page. And no offense can work unless the offensive line works.
Nate, let's talk about some of the times. How many times did you play nickels during your career at Southern?
I played against them 3 times. We played 3 times against them. We won 2, lost 1.
What was it always like when you had to take on nickels coming out of Thibodeau? You know, those are a lot of in-state guys, man. They looking at like, hey, you in-state, we in-state, trying to beat you.
Yeah, it was almost like a big rivalry because a lot of the players that we have are from that area.
Mm-hmm.
And for them to have their friends and family coming out to play against them, it was pretty heated. I remember I think the last time that we played nickels, we lost to them. And it was ironic because the guy that beat us was one of the guys I played soccer with. I grew up playing soccer with. He was their kicker. Beat us with the field goal in there.
Oh, man. So you talk about that history, man, being able to take on, you said you played them 3 times It's like a rivalry, but not really a rivalry.
Yeah. When you're at Southern and you're playing and you're in the heat of the moment, you just hate to lose anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But to really lose to an in-state rivalry or somebody that's going to have them bragging rights on you for that next year, it makes it a little bit more difficult.
And Jim, you talking about this matchup today, looking at Southern's defense now. I just got through talking with Blue about Nichols' run game, who ran for 455 yards in a 66-0 victory over Mississippi Valley. When you look at Southern's defense, particularly at that defensive line, does this set up as a game with a run-heavy team like Nichols where Southern can possibly find some success being able to suppress the run with their run defense?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the key matchup in the game. And I talked to Tim Rebo at Nichols, and he said he thinks they can have some success against it, but he says the heart of Southern's defense is its ends and its linebackers, and so they're gonna have to work hard. This isn't Mississippi Valley that they're going against. So and this Nichols team got yardage against LSU. They put 21 points against LSU in week 2. So that's going to be the most interesting matchup in the game.
Yeah, 150 yards rushing in that ball game for Nichols against that LSU defense. And Nate, I'll come back to you. You look at this matchup, Nichols versus Southern University. You said you played in this game many times. Southern and Nichols has a history of playing each other. I know a lot of Southern fans said they hated having to go down to Thibodeau. And then now Nichols coming to Baton Rouge. When you look at this matchup for you, what you think about it?
Well, it's going to be tough. And like he was saying, I think it's really going to boil down to the defense. The linebackers are going to have to be super active because that heavy run game that they have. And their offensive line is pretty tough. I watched some of the plays that they had against LSU, and these guys were really getting at it, early in the game. So if our defensive ends and our linebackers can sustain the run, I think we'll be all right.
Hey, everybody, I said, Nate, do we got to suit you up and just say, don't take that helmet off, son. Just keep that helmet. Jim, all right, let's look at special teams today because I believe special teams is going to play an integral part because when I look at teams like Nichols, the same way like McNeese, you have to play 3 phases of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. Southern played a little bit of offense against McNeese. It was a lot of defense, but it was the special teams that ultimately lost that game for Southern against McNeese. Now you look at Nichols. Teams like this take advantage of your miscues. Looking at special teams today, how important and where are you looking at in terms of the special teams game today for Southern?
Yeah, it's always big. If you win the special teams, you got a good chance of winning the game. And I think they got their special teams issues sorted out. They've had a field goal block since that first game, but that's a blocking situation. So I haven't seen anything bad. I think they need to get a little bit better performance out of their punter. He's been kind of inconsistent. Kenny Pham, he got some good shots off in the first game against the McNeese State, including he had some good kicks into the wind, which surprised me. He really kind of came through for him there, but he's been very inconsistent, and they need to get 35, 40 yards with no return on his kicks. But that's the only thing I see. They've got one of the best field goal kickers and the best kickoff men in the conference. So Southern special teams are strong. Chandler Whitfield back there on punt returns. He's going to break one eventually. So I think they're on the plus side with special teams right now.
And Nate, you not only was the quarterback, you were the kicker as well. What about special teams for you?
Special teams play a major part. If the punter can get a punt off, and what I've seen from him, the times that he's messing up, he's tend to rush himself. Like if you see the guy coming in your face and he wants to get it off, and it's a bad kick, he might shank it a little bit or pull it too far to the right or left. But if he can be consistent, if he can get him pinned down and let the defense go to work from there, then I think we'll be having a good shot. But special teams is definitely going to play a part. We can't have any turnovers on special teams. No block punts.
Yeah, now and Southern, how about Big Willie Miles getting that block, Jim? The game-winning block against Prairie View, blocking the field goal, man. The shortest thing out there, blocking field goals.
Yeah, it's a good effort. And late in the game, a field goal like that, the guy putting out that kind of effort because it's hard to do. The field goal is it's quick. It's supposed to be, you have a certain, like, I don't know, less than 2 seconds to try to get it off. That's hard to get through and get through a guy blocking you to block a field goal in that situation. So, props to Willie. It's a really tough thing, and he really kind of he set that victory up for him with that block.
And you talking about the last time you lost to Nichols? It was to a field goal.
To a field goal.
So talk about that game.
We went back and forth with that game. I think in the end it was 27-28, or I think we lost. I know we lost by like 2 points because of a field goal. Jimbo Wyndham was one of the guys I played soccer with, traveled the world with, and the guy can kick. Like the minute he walked on the field, I had my head in my hands, like, oh my God, like, is this what it's gonna come to?
Yeah.
But like he said, that field goal and blocking the field goals are major, because if you recall the Bayou Classic, 1 year we won 31-30. And it was Malcolm Peake who blocked the extra point at the end of the game to save the game for us.
Yeah, that is big. Did you ever get any of your kicks blocked back in the day?
No, sir.
All right, Jim, man, as we get ready to close this thing out, I need your predictions for today's Southern versus Nichols game and how you truly feel. Keep it real with me, Jim.
Yeah, it's going to be low scoring. I picked it in the paper today. I think 23-17 or something like that. Nichols going to win. I just think Southern's still coming together. Nichols is coming out of an open date too. This is how Southern's going to live. They're going to play low scoring games, and it's just going to be depending on how much offense they can get. And I think besides the running game versus the Southern run defense, I think is Noah Bowden going to continue to improve, because he showed some improvement in the second half also. And with him, I think it's how much they give him, because he doesn't have to carry the offense. He just has to facilitate it, and that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, that's it, Jim. Let everybody know where they can find you at.
Jim Kleinpeter at Jim Kleinpeter on Twitter, and I'm on The Advocate. I'll be at the game tonight.
And Jim will be with me in Blue tomorrow. Zach on our Facebook Live, On the Yard Network, Facebook Live, 9 a.m., as we're going to recap today's game. So, Jim, hopefully we can say something good tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jim. Hey, man, thank you as always.
Thank you, Perry.
All right. I'm going to hold up for a break for a second, though. But I love the conversation because you are familiar with this program. You know Nichols is going to bring it. Southern needs to bring it today.
Definitely. Most definitely. They got to bring it. They can't have any lapse in judgment. And bottom line, we got to play mistake-free football.
Yeah.
Mistake-free football gives us that chance of pulling out ahead.
Yeah.
And I'm a true Southernite, so Southern win. Go Jags.
Go Jags, true Southernite. I'm a true Southernite too, but I be like, I watch a lot of football, man, but they got to put on their pants just like we put on our pants. I understand.
1 leg at a time.
1 leg at a time. And so I'm looking forward to the matchup today. You'll be over at the game. So if y'all see Nate, man, you make sure y'all take some pictures with him and show him some love. Southern great. Baton Rouge, somebody put in the comment, Baton Rouge hero. Good to have you here in the studio with me, man, this morning. Glad you was able to stop by, man, and enjoy the game today. And so, man, just first of all, good to have you here. I can't always say that enough, just because of the legendary aura around who you are and what you meant to Southern during your time playing.
I really appreciate it, and I enjoy being here every time.
Man.
Just like all you other Jaguar, all the other Jaguar fans out there, homecoming's next week. We want to see you in the place. Support your Jags. Go Jags.
That's it. You gonna be on the homecoming float or something?
I will be there. I will be in the parade with I want to say Delphinus.
Yeah.
It's one of the guys that I normally work with. But I will be on that float. We will be in the parade.
All right, man. Well, look, y'all see Nate in the parade. Don't throw nothing at him. He probably throw something at you.
I'm gonna throw the candy at you. Don't throw it back.
All right, let's get ready to take a break. Nate, thank you for coming in this morning, man.
Thank you for having me, man. Anytime.
Yes, sir. We come back from the break. We're going to get ready to close things out. So y'all stay tuned more to Jaguar Journal.
watching the Southern University Human Jukebox. Click here to watch more videos. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share.
What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal. All right, here we are back. It is the Jaguar Journal. I'm Perry White, and as this show continues, my voice is getting better and better and better. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get the voice back, because 2 hours ago, I couldn't even do this. It was rough. I almost had to do sign language for the people watching on the YouTube, man, because my voice was completely out of there last night. Officiating the game got a little chippy, but I had to get in there, break guys up, get it going, and now, you hear me? I'm a little louder now, so it's good. As the day progressed, good morning to everybody listening to Talk 107.3 FM out in the capital city area. Good to have you guys with us. Hey, anybody want to go to the game today? Southern versus Nichols, call in 225-499-1073. I'll give you some tickets, so you better call in quick. I got about 6-7 minutes before I get off the air. I already got Lewis Tate going to the game today. Would you like to go to the game as well? Listen, I don't care who you are. LSU don't have a game at all today, so LSU fans, if you're listening, come on over to the other side, man. Come on over to the hump. Come enjoy yourself today. Watch some good football and watch a hell of a legendary halftime show as the man, the maestro himself, Mr. Lawrence Jackson, former band director at Southern University, will be honored today. And they have some things that they're going to do to have you guys thoroughly entertained at halftime today. 225-499-1073. Anybody want to go to the game? I'm going to hook you up. So you give me a call real quick before I get out of here. Southern versus Nichols today, 6 o'clock. Going to be one hell of a game between these programs. Look, games around the SWAC today. You're going to have Prairie View against Incarnate Word. Prairie View got that big victory over Grambling in 5 overtimes. How about over in Montgomery, Alabama today? Florida A&M playing Alabama State. It's Alabama State's homecoming. I saw just this morning they've already sold over 20,000 tickets for that game. They're expecting a huge crowd, and I expect nothing less between two teams who have been picked 1 and 2. And for Florida A&M, the defending Black College National Champions and defending East Division champions in the SWAC, this is going to be a game that I believe they're going to take serious because guess what? In the SWAC preseason, they had Alabama State picked to win the East. Alabama State, Florida A&M, that game today, 2 o'clock, ESPN Plus. I believe that is a must-watch. How about our friends right up the street, Lorman, Mississippi? It is homecoming at Alcorn today. I saw a picture. They had traffic. I don't know if it was 10 o'clock last night, 12, midnight, whatever the case. It is hard to get to the reservation, and I can assure you the traffic is bagged up down 61 right now if you're trying to get over there. They're taking on my hometown, the Golden Lions, and my mom's alma mater, UAPB. UAPB could pull an upset today. They come in this game 1 and 3, Alcorn 2 and 3. UAPB, I think, could pull an upset, but this homecoming is always tough up there on the reservation. The Alcorn Braves versus the UAPB Golden Lions, 2 o'clock kickoff today. It's also homecoming over in Houston as Lynchburg takes on Texas Southern's. Texas Southern's homecoming, coming off that big loss to Jackson State. Then the Tigers and the Bulldogs, Alabama A&M and Jackson State over in Biloxi today. Excuse me, not Biloxi, in Mobile, Alabama. All of them up against the coast. They're up in Mobile, Alabama for the Gulf South Challenge, the Gulf South Classic, Gulf Coast Classic. What they used to call it back in the day, the Gulf Coast Classic. Well, I think it's the Gulf Coast Class Challenge. Whatever. It's the Gulf Coast. It's in Mobile Hill. You know what I'm talking about. And that should be a good one. Alabama A&M versus Jackson State. Jackson State coming off that big win last week against Texas A&M. Alabama A&M did not play last week because that game against Florida A&M was postponed due to the hurricane, and prayers to everybody who was affected over on the East Coast to that hurricane. As always, people here in South Louisiana understand because at any given time, it could be us. So prayers to everybody affected. And then Southern versus Nichols today, man. Look, y'all can say what y'all want about Perry. I'm just a little leery of it. It's the non-conference matchups always have me leery when it comes to Southern. That's just how I feel about it. If it's a FCS or a Division I matchup in non-conference, I'm just leery of it. Why shouldn't I be? It's been a long time since we've beaten somebody on our level that is not in the SWAC. And I saw the game against McNeese, right? But I got faith. I believe, trust me, I really do. This is one of those must-win games. Southern's going to have the home crowd once again like we had with McNeese. You have the opportunity to get the crowd going. Next week, we'll be on the road at Houston and Texas Southern, which that should be one hell of a game. And then you come back with homecoming. Can you imagine if we beat Nichols, then go and beat Texas Southern going into that homecoming game with Alcorn? That's the type of energy I like. We can't stagger into homecoming. We got to walk tall into homecoming. Walking tall means, hey, defending home turf against anybody. You got an opportunity today, Jaguars, to defend home turf against Nichols, an in-state team who would love nothing more than to say that they beat Southern. Everybody loves if they can have the opportunity to say that they beat Southern. And so for today, you got to defend your home. You got to be able to get this win. And guess what? There's a lot of naysayers out there that's picking Nichols. I'm almost a naysayer. But let a naysayer know, okay? Tell me something. Show me something different. If not, I'm going to continue to be a naysayer because you haven't shown me anything. I watched us give away a game at McNeese State. McNeese is an FCS top 25 team now. Did you guys know that? They're an FCS top 25 team now. And the way that I watched us play for 3 quarters, we were right there with them until we just had the miscues on special teams. Now they are an FCS top 25 team and have not lost a game at home. So now today, show me something, Southern. I don't believe, but then I do believe. I don't even know if that makes sense. It's just the Jaguar in me, right? I got to rock with you. But at the same time, I watch football, man, and I watch too much of it sometimes. And I get my mind from reality to what I really want in terms of just how I feel. And that's when I got to separate how I feel to the reality. The reality of it is from what I've seen with Nichols thus far this season, they can play some football. And if you don't come ready to play, they'll run you up out of there. But my pride said we at home. It's A.W. Mumford, Pete Richardson Field. It's the Jaguars. This is a tough place to come play. That's my pride. My pride is telling me ain't no way Nichols should be able to come in here and beat us at our home field. Just ain't no way. But then I watch that football and that reality, and I say, damn, they can run the ball. And they're going to do it many different ways. Trick plays, wildcat, whatever way they can do. They play in the game like it's NCAA. Y'all played NCAA 25, right? I got NCAA. They play it like me, basically. A lot of misdirection, jet sweeps, wildcat. You're just going to get it all. It's going to be different. It's not what you're going to see from Southern. Step back, throw. And look, Southern, come on with it today, baby. Make me proud. Make the Jaguar Nation proud. Can we do that? That's all the Jaguar Nation wants is a victory at home. Let's defend the home turf. It's ours. It's not theirs. Let's not give it up. I don't know no other way. Y'all gonna make me lose my voice again from yelling. Don't have me yelling tonight. I want to be cheering. I don't want to be yelling. I want to be cheering tonight. I want to hear the fight song 50 times tonight. I want to hear the fight song all night. First down, touchdowns, intercept. I want to hear the fight song all night. Don't you, if you go into the game? That's all I got for you. That's all I got. I got to save the rest of my voice for a little bit later. Man, listen, as always, man, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm just Perry White, man, and I appreciate the support that you guys give, the love, man. My man Mike holding it down back here. He'll be at the game today. Mike coming to the game. So if you see him, you say, what's up, Mike? You're going to see him. Y'all will see him. Guess what? You'll see Mike at the game today. He's going to be there for Southern and Nichols, man. 6 o'clock kickoff. Thank you to everybody tuning in on Talk 107.3 FM each and every Saturday. Man, I appreciate you, whether you're a Southern fan or not. If you're just listening, thank you from Perry White. I appreciate you. Everybody that's watching across the nation on our YouTube channel, I appreciate you. Hit the subscribe button. And if you are listening on the radio, go hit the subscribe button and go follow us on YouTube as well as on Facebook. Hit that follow button. Good morning to everybody out there tailgating. I know y'all guys are having a good time. I'll be out there momentarily to have a good time with you. The game will be on Jaguar Sports Network a little bit later. Hope you guys enjoy yourself. And then tomorrow, if you guys want to hear the recap of this game, Jim, along with Blue and myself, will be on the On the Yard Network Facebook Live. So you go follow On the Yard Network. We'll be doing a recap of today's game and many other games across the country. So thank you for you guys and tuning in, man. As always, I love you, and I really do, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I'll be back next week at the same time in the same place. As always, it's the Jaguar Journal. What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal.